Hello, I saw your question on the discussion board about section 15.3. 15.3, you want to solve quadratic equations by completing a square and the quadratic formula. You didn't specify which technique to use. You will find I've worked some examples of the quadratic formula, so I decided to show the completing the square with this example. Now, in your book on page 617, they outline these steps I'm about to go through. So this was to give an equation. One of the first steps is to get your variables on one side, constant on the other, which that's done for us. The next steps is to make the leading coefficient 1. Currently, leading coefficient's a 4. To make it 1, we have to divide every term by 4. And so when I divide each term by 4, coefficient of x becomes this minus 1. Now I'm ready to complete the square, so I take half of that coefficient of x term, which is a half, and square that, and I get a fourth. And so I add a fourth to each side. This is called completing the square. Now you want to factor this left side, and the factoring is actually pretty easy. It's going to be x minus, the minus comes from here, and whatever it was before you squared it was a half, always goes here. Then I need to add 6 plus a fourth, that's 6 and a fourth, or if I'm changing that to improper fraction, that'd be 25 fourths. So I have this binomial squared equal constant. I use the square root property, and that'll give me x minus 1/2 equal plus or minus square root of 25 fourths, that's 5 halves. Then I write it out the long way, and I add 1/2 to each side, and so I get 6 halves or 3 here. Add a half again, I get negative 4 halves or negative 2. Hope this helps.